Hello everyone, I'm Jensen. Today is Wednesday, May 5th, and I have all the stories you need to know to get in the loop tonight. And with it being May 5th, that means it's also Cinco de Mayo. And while some of you are celebrating with some margs, I'm celebrating with facts. That's why I don't get invited to parties. A lot of times Cinco de Mayo is confused with Mexico's Independence Day, but the Battle of Puebla, which is what Cinco de Mayo actually celebrates, happened more than 50 years after the declaration of Mexico's independence. The battle took place after France invaded Mexico in response to Mexican President Benito Juárez's decision to suspend payment of all foreign debts. Mexico's victory in the Battle of Puebla is considered to be one of the key events to really solidify the Mexican national idea. The beginnings of the Cinco de Mayo celebrations in the United States could date back to 1862, but it wasn't widely celebrated in the US until the 1960s when Chicano activists raised awareness. Now, across the United States, we see parades, parties, music, Mexican folk dance, traditional food, and marketing campaigns, and not just in communities with Latino populations. But within Mexico, the holiday is mostly observed in the state of Puebla, where it all occurred. So, of course, go ahead and enjoy those margaritas today, but just be sure to remember you're not celebrating the independence of Mexico, but rather another battle that happened well after, which helped Mexico become the nation it is today. And Peloton is recalling some of its treadmills after a child's death and dozens of other injuries due to the model's design. U.S. regulators say the voluntary recall affects the Peloton Tread and Tread Plus models specifically. Now, the move comes more than a month after the Consumer Product Safety Commission issued a warning about the dangers of children and pets being pulled underneath the Tread Plus model. And that second recall for the Peloton Tread is because the touchscreen can fall off. The company has stopped sale and distribution of both models, but if you've bought either treadmill, you're advised to immediately stop using it and contact Peloton for a full refund. But if you don't want a refund, you also have the option of having it moved free of charge to a room where children or pets can't access it. And Facebook isn't allowing former President Donald Trump back on its platform, at least just yet. As a reminder, his Facebook and Instagram accounts have been suspended since the day after the January 6 riots at the U.S. Capitol. Facebook representatives claimed Trump's rhetoric incited the violence in D.C. that day. But this morning, the company's oversight board did say that an indefinite suspension isn't exactly fair, and it suggested the company either make the ban permanent or pick an end date. So what comes next? Well, the board is requiring Facebook to review the situation within the next 6 months. Now, if you'd like to read the decision from the board in its entirety, check out the link in the description of this video. And the Biden administration is supporting efforts to waive intellectual property protections on the COVID-19 vaccines in the hopes of finally bringing this pandemic to an end. United States Trade Representative Katherine Tai announced the government's position Wednesday during World Trade Organization talks over easing global trade rules with the goal of helping more countries produce the life-saving shot. But she warned it would still take time to reach the required global consensus to waive those protections under World Trade Organization rules. And U.S. officials said it wouldn't have an immediate effect on the global supply of the COVID-19 vaccine. So we will keep you posted on any of those developments. And for my Toledo pals, did you know Ohio Governor Mike DeWine made 2 Northwest Ohio stops today? And we finally got to talk about something a little bit more refreshing than usual. It's Ohio Tourism Day, and DeWine popped into the Deitch Brothers Chocolate and Ice Cream Shop in Findlay before eventually heading over to Toledo's National Museum of the Great Lakes. He showed our area some love by crediting the museum as a place where the state truly launched H2 Ohio, which is the state's data-driven water plan to reduce harmful algal blooms. And he detailed trips with his father to the Toledo Zoo while noting the treasure we have here with the world-renowned Toledo Museum of Art. Plus, we heard from former Findlay mayor and current director of the Ohio Development Services Agency, Lydia Mahalik, about initiatives to draw in those tourists and upcoming events for us already living here in Ohio. And one cool thing I learned is that on the Ohio Tourism website, you can find a lot of pre-planned road trips throughout the state. There's one super cool one that takes you through some beautiful parks, but there were also tours for foodies, history buffs, and a whole lot more. So if you're planning a trip this summer but don't want to go too far, check this out. But that is all I have for you today. If you liked this video, hit that like button and of course subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Jensen and now you're in the loop.